Hi everybody, my name is Jennifer Cooper and welcome to JKC Mobile Notary's YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about what first-time home buyers should expect at the signing table. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Hi, I'm Jen, and I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm excited about this topic and I can't wait to get into it. Before we get started, if you would hit the like button, subscribe, and share, ring that little bell so that you get reminded every time I post, which is every Sunday morning. So, if you're a first-time home buyer and you are in the process of this very long and extensive journey to get the keys to your first new home, I'm so excited for you. But I want to give you a little heads up about what to expect at that last signing table, where you will be sitting with a notary who is also a loan signing agent, which requires special training, but that ensures that they know how to help you walk through a myriad of documents, of which we will go over a little bit today. But so in preparation for that, I want to talk to you a little bit about the different type of notary that will be there for your loan signing. Notary publics have to get a special certification to be a loan signing agent, which that allows us the training and the expertise to be able to walk you through any type of loan documentation. So that makes that process a little easier and smoother for you, because some of the stuff that if you've never seen it before is going to be confusing. And so that's what we're there to help you with. We can do this final signing. It could be at your current residence. It could be at the title office. It could be at a Starbucks. It can be anywhere that you want it to be, generally speaking. Your escrow office will ask where you'd like to do the signing, and then that's where the notary will meet you. And and so most of the time, title companies and escrow companies hire that notary so you don't have to. I've done plenty of loan signings and document signings for real estate where the clients have hired me because the escrow company did not. But most of the time, your escrow company is going to hire the notary. They like to pick somebody they've worked with before to make sure the process goes smoothly and correctly. You will see that line itemed a cost that you are paying for as part of all of your loan fees. It will be line item on your disclosure statement or your settlement statement. You'll see the fee, which may or may not be the fee the notary is really getting, just so you know. Sometimes they overshoot that and then they budget out their notaries, but you are paying for the notary, just not at the signing. So, if we get into that, let's get into some of the documents that you're going to see that might seem a little bit weird. And I'm not going to go over all of the documents. These packages can be between 150 to 250 pages, so it's a lot of disclosures and things like that. But the stuff that's important, that's really kind of important that we want you to understand as you get to, those I'm going to go over. So, okay, the first document is a closing disclosure. This one matters because it's a pretty close estimate to all your final numbers. You can find your purchase price, your loan amount, the type of loan. You'll find your payment amount and escrow. And if you have mortgage insurance, you're going to find that on there. And then your final payment will be updated on this document. And in the pages behind it, it'll break down every single fee, loan fee, and everything that your loan is incurring. The uniform residential loan application. This is your loan application printed into an online document, and you've already filled it out. But if you're applying for a joint loan, for example, there'll be spots for you to initial your names. There are signature lines for you to sign it as well. Your notary is going to help point those out to you. The California per diem interest affidavit. This is a very California-specific form. The entire concept of this can be confusing, but it's a document that has you choose when your loan funds. And the two choices determine how quickly you get your funds and if you accrue extra interest fees in the process of disbursement. It's a form that you should be prepared to sign. Your escrow agent or your lender should let you know what choice you should make. But the idea of it is, it's a notification that in the time frame between when the lender disperses funds, lender releases funds, and escrow disperses funds, if there's a hold time there, like if the lender releases funds on Friday at 4:30, escrow may not be in the office Friday at 4:30, so that loan is going to sit in the ether for escrow the whole weekend into Monday, and it could incur extra interest payments. Interest payments are going to start the minute that loan leaves the lender. So that's just a document that can be kind of confusing. Going into this signing, ask your lender, ask your escrow agent, how do I fill out, what choice do I fill out on the California per diem interest form? It's going to help you in your signing, especially if you know what they want. Another document is an amortization schedule. It's hard to say. This one scares some people. If you're an accountant, you kind of love it, but it's basically a document that outlines every single payment from payment 1 to the final payment of your loan, and it shows the amount going to principal and interest and the interest rate for the life of your loan. So this could be a 5 to 6 page document if it's a 30-year mortgage, right? Sometimes this is signed, sometimes it's not. There is a borrower's consent to use your tax return information. To be quite honest, they've already used your tax return information. You might have signed something like this digitally, but if the notary is sitting there with you for the few documents that need to be notarized, they're going to take the opportunity to get wet signatures on a lot of things you've already signed. This might be one of them. The errors and omissions and compliance agreement. This is a document that promises that you will assist in any changes or corrections that need to be made. These are strictly clerical changes, and this document also requires a notarization. The signature affidavit. This one just is kind of verifying your name, that it's correct. Some of these have a whole list of different names that they would have pulled off of your credit report, or I don't know where they get them, quite frankly. And you just have to kind of go through and decide which names are yours and which are not. Sometimes they'll want you to do a sample signature and then a full signature, but your notary is going to explain that. But this document also requires notarization. Your first payment letter, you'll see your loan information, your first payment information on this document. It'll also tell you when your first payment is due, normally 2 months away. If you sign your papers on the 27th of a month, you're not going to get the full width of that space between purchase and first payment. The correction agreement and limited power of attorney. This is another document that's asking that you would not only assist in correcting any of the papers, but it also asks for a 120-day limited power of attorney. This POA is just to allow them to go in and fix things. Sorry, I got a phone call. I record these on my phone right now, so that was my 8 o'clock appointment needing to reschedule, so it gives us more time together here. Okay, so the correction agreement and limited power of attorney is a 120-day limited power of attorney. The POA is allowed to allow them to go in and fix things. These corrections will never be about money. They'll never be about finances, and often they could be fixing notary mistakes. So this document also requires notarization. Your note, this is your promise to pay. Sometimes it requires your initials and signature, but more often than not, a signature is all that's needed. And then your deed of trust, often referred to as DOT, also known as trust deed. This is the functional equivalent to a mortgage. It makes the piece of absolute property security for a loan. The DOT is often 15 to 17 page document, sometimes requires initials on every page, sometimes just a signature at the back. This document also requires a notary or notarization. There will be lots more forms, disclosures, agreements in your package, as well as tax information. Overall, those are the biggies on the list. A couple things to be aware of at your signing are the requirements of the notary. For your notary to adequately and lawfully conduct the signing, they will need a couple things, i.e. Identification or driver's license that's current. If your ID is expired in California, we can still use it if it was issued within 5 years. Your lender may not be able to use an expired driver's license, so make sure you check that out with them. And it can be any state driver's license. We may also need a second form of ID. There's another document called the Patriot form, and this one kind of is like a double check of your identity, in which case your ID works, but they'll also need a second form of ID. This can be your social security card. This could be an organized membership card, which a lot of people use Costco because that's an organized membership card, but you need to be prepared to come to that signing with a second form of ID. Your passport won't count. That counts as a first level form of ID, if that makes sense. This entire process at the table can take as little as 45 minutes and as long as 2 hours. It's completely depends on you and how much time you want to take to read at the table, or how much time you spend pre-reading documents before the signing. More of the time length of this signing is in your control than it is the notary's. I think that's it, but no matter what, I want you to come prepared for a seamless, easy process. This should not be complicated. It should not be super confusing. It's almost very likely you've signed most of these documents online already. You'll be doing a lot of repeat signing. Your closing disclosure, you've probably already done online. Your settlement statement, you might have done online. There's lots of things you've already done online, so it's going to feel a little repetitive, but understand that the lender just wants an inked signature, since you're going to be there with a notary anyways. From that point, the notary will take possession of your documents and deliver them to the escrow agent, or FedEx them to the escrow agent. They might have to scan them first, but from that point on, you should be done with your signings. I can't promise you that. I'm not a real estate agent. I can't promise you there's not any legal documents you need to fill out, because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not allowed to give legal advice. But I hope that helps make you feel prepared for what you're going to expect at the signing table. And this market right now is crazy. So if you have been fortunate enough to get yourself in the door to get a new house, congratulations. I'm excited for you. And I hope that you'll find a notary that will be your lifelong notary, from your house signing to everything else that you will need done with a notary in the future. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I've enjoyed this series of videos that I've done from the beginning of this channel. I'm hoping I'm getting better and better. I hope the content is something that's helping you, but I look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, take care.